Yesterday was the 50-year anniversary of the Carnation Revolution, the one time that our timeline intersected with the good timeline. I think I've talked about it before. It's a pretty important part of Portuguese history, like one of the most, I would say, you know? What incarnation? Exactly. I didn't want to let it slip by without reminding you guys that sometimes good things are actually possible. Oh, it's today. Oh, sorry. I thought I missed it. My bad. I had the date wrong. It's today. Nice. Look at that. Yeah, this was the one time everything went right. Basically, Portugal was authoritarian and colonial and had military holdings in a bunch of countries in Africa and Latin America. And after like a decade and a half of warring with African and Latin American independence movements, the war was growing increasingly unpopular. And even with the military, everyone kind of didn't like the government. And then there was a military coup that was supported organically and without preparation by the citizens of Portugal. There was a military conspiracy that formed and conspired to overthrow the existing government, which they did very quickly and easily. And as they did so, and their soldiers took to the streets, civilians came out, and like it was a peaceful revolution. An actual peaceful revolution. Oh, they didn't have their Latin American colonies by then? Okay, just the African colonies then. They'd already lost their Latin American ones. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, it's called the Carnation Revolution because carnations were in season, and in a like market square, people were putting carnation flowers in the gun barrels of the loyalist military forces. It's such a huge part of Portuguese history, and it happened so... How did an organic military coup just happen? Here. In February 1974, Caetano decided to remove General Antonio de Spinola from the command of the Portuguese forces in Guinea in the face of Spinola's increasing disagreement with the promotion of military officers and the direction of Portuguese colonial policy. Several military officers who opposed the war formed the MFA, the Armed Forces Movement, to overthrow the government in a military coup. It was aided by other Portuguese army officers who supported Spinola and democratic civil and military reform. The coup had two secret signals. They broadcast from a radio. They turned out into the streets. 6 hours later, the Caetano government relented. Despite repeated radio appeals from the captains of April, the MFA advising civilians to stay home, thousands of Portuguese took to the streets, mingling with and supporting the military insurgents. A central gathering point was the Lisbon flower market, then richly stocked with carnations. Some of the insurgents put carnations in their gun barrels, an image broadcast on television worldwide. Oh, there we go. My bad, it wasn't the loyalist forces then. It was the, oh wow. Look at that. My God. Yeah, this was a military coup, except the military was all like hippies. Like, it was a military coup, except the insurrectionists didn't want a junta. They wanted like freedom and democracy and peace and happiness and love and flowers and friendship. It's like the one time the good thing happened. It's insane. The they-them army won fully, yeah. Yeah, a woke revolution. An image broadcast on television worldwide which gave the revolution its name. Although no mass demonstrations preceded the coup, spontaneous civilian involvement turned the military coup into a popular revolution led by radical army officers, soldiers, workers, and peasants that toppled the senile Salazar dictatorship using the language of socialism and democracy. The attempt to radicalize the outcome, noted a contemporary observer of the time, had little mass support and was easily suppressed by the Socialist Party and its allies. Caetano found refuge in the main headquarters of the Lisbon military police. This building was surrounded by the MFA. Caetano and President Américo Tomás were sent to Brazil. Caetano spent the rest of his life there, and Tomás returned to Portugal a few years later. The revolution was closely watched by neighboring Spain, where the government and the opposition were planning the succession of Spanish dictator Franco. Franco died a year and a half later. 4 civilians were shot dead by government forces under the Directorate General of Security, but those personnel were arrested by the MFA for their murders. That's it. It was a revolution that took an entire government and multiple colonial properties, millions and millions of people brought back from the colonies, and 4 died for it. Like, as KDs go on revolutionary behavior, this is insane, you know? The low price of 4 deaths. For overturning a colonial fascist government, I would say so. Was the military the good guys for once? Yes. Unambiguously, yes. 100%. Right-wing military figures attempted an unsuccessful counter-coup, resulting in Spinola's removal from office. Unrest within the MFA between leftist forces often close to the Communist Party and more moderate groups often allied with the Socialists eventually led to the group's splintering and dissolution. The stage of the PREC lasted until the coup of 25 November 1975, led by a group of far-left officers. It was said to be a communist ploy to seize power in order to discredit the powerful Communist Party. It was followed by a successful counter-coup by more centrist officers. Okay, so there were a bunch of coups and counter-coups immediately afterwards, okay? But after all of that, there was a free election held. Another election held in 76, and the first constitutional government, led by center-left socialist Mario Soares, took office. And they did decolonization. So basically nothing matters. No, it does matter. There was a lot of turmoil after the revolution, but they did eventually get their new constitution and their... I was joking? Okay. Communists really suck, huh? Unfortunately, most of the Communist Party in Europe at this time were basically just fronts for the USSR. I don't know if that's the case for this Communist Party, but... Oh, wait. Well, what was that image that popped up? But probably likely, yes. The party considers itself patriotic and internationalist and is characterized by being between the left-wing and far-left on the political spectrum. Okay. Yeah, the PCP. Nice. During the fascist government, the PCP was constantly suppressed by the secret police, which forced the party members to live in clandestine status under the threat of arrest, torture, and murder. After the Carnation Revolution, the 36 members of Party's Central Committee had, in the aggregate, experienced more than 300 years in jail. Vosh, the Communist Party was really overplaying their hand. Many such cases, and they had very little popular support, but a really social democratic constitution was instituted, which offers a whole lot of protections. Yeah, that's a common tendency for these types, you know? I wonder how influenced by the Soviets they were by the time of the Carnation Revolution. Left-wing military forces defeated a coup attempt by rightists in the military. This resulted in a turn in the revolutionary process to the political left, with the main sectors of the economy, such as banks, transportation, steel mills, mines, and communications companies being nationalized. Nice. PCP took lead of the process, organizing thousands of peasants. That sounds good. This sounds good. Party achieved 12.5% of the vote 1 year after the revolution. In the end, as the party wanted, the Constitution included several references to socialism and a classless society. Nice. All right. It seems like they were doing some nice stuff, at least after the Carnation Revolution. That's good. You know, communist parties in Europe have a pretty mixed history, I would say. Love to learn stuff. Love to learn that good things are possible. So when did they start killing the anarchists? If they did that, then it would have had to have been before Portugal became fascist, right? So probably a while ago, if they did it at all. Live, Portugal marks the... Oh, right, of course, there'd be videos on this. This is their celebration earlier today. Toot toot. Toot toot. Mostly in the 30s, they sent anarchists to Africa. Is that true? I don't see anything mentioning that in the Wikipedia page. Yeah, the Communist Party in Portugal was outlawed nearly a century ago, in 1926. I don't think they would have had the chance to, like, persecute anarchists over there. Did you know that in some former USSR countries, for example, Estonia, explicitly communist parties are banned? Well, considering what they had to deal with the USSR, I'm kind of not surprised that there was a popular, like, movement against them, you know? Keep in mind that the communism most of the people in Eastern Europe have experienced is not, like, functionally different from, at its best, like, incompetent bureaucratic authoritarianism, and at its worst, like, overt fascism. So, regardless of what, like, actual communists, like all of us, of course, believe, you know, Hello, Vosh, I'm from Portugal. Rightoids are pushing for the 25th of November counter coup to be celebrated as a national holiday because they've always seethed about the 25th of April celebration. They may be getting it next year, sadly. Who celebrates a counter coup? Whatever. Even if it gets celebrated as a national holiday, like, it will never hold the spirit and the hearts of the minds of the Portuguese people. They can't make up history. What is it with fascists and demanding participation trophies? That's all they get. They keep losing. Oh yeah, self-loathing egomaniac, but that wouldn't have been the communists doing it. That would have been the fascists doing it. Hell yes! Alright, I'm glad they're having fun. I gotta say, it is pretty wild seeing a military parade celebrating a military coup that is unambiguously left-wing and democratic in nature. How wild is that, right? Like, you see a bunch of soldiers marching in formation, and it's like, yep, here we are celebrating freedom and democracy, and it's actually true. That's not a euphemism or a lie. That's just true. It's good stuff and something to be proud of. It is, and it's a good thing that the country celebrates it to this day. Is this special forces? Or are we running like this? You gotta be trained. You gotta be trained real well to run like this in formation. My god, look at that. Whew, boy. That looks impressive. They're doing, it's like a little choreographed dance. I like that. Why the leg? It's marching. I like that. Oh, that dramatic zoomed in pan. Oh my god. Or not pan, turn? Bring your arm up, dude. Bring your arm up, dude. Gotta make it level. This is so camp. Yeah, they're serving. Plug walk. Jesus Christ. Woo! Look, Portugal doesn't plan on getting in any army, or sorry, any fights anytime soon. Okay, so let their army have their fun. Beep beep. Here, okay, we have the politicians here, I assume. Loving the fat tank operator, by the way. Loving this guy with his mustache and glasses and beret. Absolutely killing it. I think it's veterans from the MFA. Oh, they're... Oh my god, that makes sense! MFA veterans! So these guys would be like 70. Hell yeah, dude! Hey, unironically, thank you for your service, huh? Like, sure is nice to say that, like, completely straightforwardly in a, you know, like, hey, thanks for your service. The Captains of April, as they are known here. That's really nice. Where are the carnations? Yeah, they need to have carnations, like, glued all over these vehicles. That is a little dingy... I'm assuming these vehicles are from the era the Carnation Revolution would have been in, because this is not a modern vehicle by any measure, you know? They're just dusting off some of the old ones. No, they're still in use? That's still in use? Yeah, it looks like it's from Metal Slug. Alright. That was nice. No, that's okay, Zoth. I don't want to linger too much. Remember, Vosh, they're not in America? Yeah, you're right. That's true. The European militaries are still using, like, single-engine biplanes or whatever. Not every country has an American military budget. Okay. I'm checking my privilege over here. Thank you. To think Portugal used to be a global superpower? Dude, Britain used to be, you know? Yeah. I mean, even the Dutch had the, I worked with the Portuguese army in Iraq. Good lads. Nice. Single-engine biplanes were still in use during the Carnation Revolution. Damn. You know that thing everyone fantasizes about doing where you go back in time with, like, an AR-15 and a bunch of ammunition, and you single-handedly defeat ex-medieval army? You can actually do that today as an American going to any European country, you know? If you brought just modern civilian available weapons to, like, Portugal or any other Western European country, you would effectively be, like, up against knights in armor. This is correct? Yeah. Britain is still the 6th richest country. Correction, London is still the 6th richest country. You know, city-state. London might as well be a city-state, man.